Hello adventurers and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a better day. Yesterday, if you missed it, the storms came in and kind of stopped me from being able to do anything in the van. And so I was not able to complete my Keurig test. So today I'm going to be testing out the Keurig. I'm also going to be working on organizing the van, taking my front seat out finally because I was going to do it the other day and every time I've tried, it's rained. So we're going to do that hopefully without rain. I'm not sure how this is going to work because we have a very overcast sky today. So it could be a big win or it could be a big fail again. We're gonna try to have the van ready by the end of this video, with the exception of getting my oil changed though, because it's just been weird. It's just been weird. So we're gonna start off by making sure the Keurig works so I can throw away the box and know that this is for sure locked in. Let's get to it. So this is what the top shelf looks like. It was pretty dark when I put everything in, but I have the air fryer and also the Keurig. I have my Ridge Monkey Deep Pot, and then I have all my K-Cups. There's a little bit of wiggle room in here. That's because there's a few other things that will go on this shelf in way of like power and things that just kind of fit into the slots to keep everything from moving. Now, the one thing I do need to relocate is going to be this cord, only because at this moment it's just kind of in the way. However, it will have a space eventually. So this is my lights, of course. I just kind of figure out where it fits best. That's not a right now thing. I figured we could start our morning off with a little cup of cheer though, and if this works out, this cup can't go with me sadly on the road, but I love it so much. It's a ceramic though, so it could break, so I'll be using my camping mug instead. I just wanted to bring this one in because it made me have a little bit of joy this morning, and it reminded me of the rainbow from yesterday. Now it is very humid. It's 95 in the van currently with a stickiness factor of 4,625. I'm going to be trying to run this one way that I'm not sure if it's going to work. I'm going to try to use an extension cord down to a power station. That way I can just kind of keep everything in place. I don't know if it's going to work like that or not, but we're going to find out. If it does not, the cord is, I think, long enough to run directly to the power station, but I wanted to know for sure based on kind of placement, because typically I have a power station placed right where this one is. So this would be the best, most optimum position for both of these items. I always have a power station right here up against my shelf, kind of going out toward my space with the door. And so I figure that if the regular cord can't make it, then an extension cord could help me out so I don't have to move the coffee maker every single day. I am going to have to go and get some scissors because I took my tools and all of my things out of the van for cleaning. So the cord does look like it's probably not going to go all the way to the power station, but that's why we're going to try out the other. If not, I guess I'll be moving either the battery or I'll be moving the Keurig. One way or the other, this is going to work though. I have tested out the other Keurig. This one's supposed to pull similar power. So that's another reason we're doing this, is just to make sure the new one actually works with a power station. Okay, this should be a quick snip and then pull through. This is just a regular extension cord, so I'm going to plug it in to the Keurig and then I'll run it down to my power station. Now you're probably thinking, why do you care about a Keurig so much? And the answer is quite simple. I personally am a person who enjoys convenience. If I have the power for it, why not? But more so, over the past years of me traveling in the van doing coffee different ways, I have had great success with instant coffees, with bagged coffees, with different kinds of things. But I'm noticing that one of the things that I do less and less is I do not grab for a coffee in the morning if I'm going to be moving quickly. I just don't. I enjoy my coffee. I enjoy my chai teas. I enjoy my hot cocos. But in the morning time, one of the things that I try to do is get myself going as quickly as possible. And if that means I have to set up something extra, I'm probably just not going to do it. I only utilize my coffee more so when I'm camping in a place for more than one night or have a very, very casual morning. A lot of times that's just not the case though, because of my go-go energy. So this will help me because all I will have to do is literally pour some water in, pop it down. I will have coffee by the time I have made my bed, and that will be it. This is going to be a convenience thing more than anything. Now, does everyone need this? Absolutely not. Is it something that will be very niche? Yes. Yes, it is. Starting off at 85% on this one. Let's see, is it gonna work? It kind of self-gauges how much water is in here and then gives you an option for how much coffee you can make based on how much water is in here. It does seem like it's gonna work. Yeah, this is definitely gonna work. Okay, cool. So something that I noticed that's a little different with this Keurig than my other one is when you fill it up. Of course, I don't want to fill it all the way to the top because I don't need 10 ounces of coffee. but it will tell you how much that you can use based on that sensor. So I filled it somewhere between the 6 and 8, so it's allowing me to do 8 ounces of coffee, and then there'll probably be a little bit left over because it doesn't ever let you fully deplete. Good to know. Okay, I made 8 ounces of coffee. I still have this much water. Let's look at this thing. Ooh, that is perfect. And then I just looked at it and it says add water because there's not quite enough to do a 6 ouncer. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out this pod and then I can just throw this away. So what I probably will do is at nighttime, I will probably either fill up my water for the morning, or I will go ahead and put the water in the dispenser. Now, the only negative to putting the water in the dispenser at nighttime would be if for some reason I had to like get up out of my campsite, it would make a really big mess. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have just the water that I know I'm going to be using, I'll pull it to the side and already have it out. So the first thing in the morning, all I have to do is pour it in and get started. That is going to be super efficient for me. So I am so happy. It will run off the cord, which means I now need to accommodate for the cord on the shelf. No big deal. I will have to pull it out every so often just to super clean it and also to make sure I'm descaling it. Descaling is super easy. All you have to do is use vinegar, and maybe we'll do that at some point whenever it needs to be descaled. I'll show you how that works. But okay, that makes me happy. That means that I can throw away the box now and we can move on to our next project, which is going to be, I guess, pulling the ladder out and trying to get up on the roof to get my tools down. I need to figure out what all needs to go in the roof box because I'm going to take one shot at opening up the roof because it's going to be windy this afternoon and I really don't want it to just, you know. After each use, I will wipe it down really good just to make sure we don't have any drips or weirdness. And then I'll also make sure that I have this untaped so I can pull it up and clean inside the little slot there. Okay, I've been moving things around and kind of sorting them. These are my window shades. This is my refrigerator cover. I'm just gonna scoot those over. I'm gonna take this inside. I'm gonna take this inside. These need to go into my shower bag. I have to find a place for my games. Okay, so overall, all this stuff has to move. Also, I pulled down my water shoes because I want to put them into my shower bag just for convenience. So I already have them set up here. So all I need to do is throw them into my shoe pocket on my shower bag, and that way I can have access to them because I'm planning on getting in the water some. So I want to have these where I can get to them a little bit easier versus having to shimmy up the ladder every time. So into here those will go, and then I have a place for the shower bag later. This is a two-hand kind of thing though, I think. Now, if you missed the other things that are in that shower bag, go check out my shower planning video. Very helpful to kind of get some tips on how to have things convenient so that you can go to a variety of different kinds of showers, but also some suggestions for showers. With that, it is super, super sticky hot, as you can see. So I got to get a move on. It's getting to a point where I'm very much thinking it's probably going to rain again. So let's get the van closed up. Okay, time to get out my tools. Should be right here on the top. There it is. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to finish cleaning out the floorboard and get all of the dust out of it before I put the carpet down. Okay, I should be able to rock this up. And turn. And... Okay, seat's out. I have to put it in storage, but first I'm going to go ahead and sweep everything out with my handy little dust brush. And I'll probably go over it with some disinfecting wipes before I put down the carpet also. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's under a carpet. I'm not really concerned. If I was, I would get my vacuum out. But it is windy today, so that's going to be super problematic. It's just going to spin the dust around. Okay, dust be gone. This was from us doing all sorts of activities, you know, van things of sorts. We do different kinds of things in the van. That's the nice thing about my particular van journey, is it's not just about camping. It is about camping sometimes, but in other times it is about getting out and having lived experiences, which I think is so much more interesting than just camping. I think that that's why I started my channel, and it's been something that's been an ongoing theme on my channel, is even though the camping part is cool, and I do enjoy it quite a lot, I enjoy the places that my van can take me, kind of like the Magic School Bus. We go on these like adventures that take us to the unknown, and then we learn about it. And as I get to like show you guys those places, it's like a digital field trip. It's like a place where we can all go together and get some cool brain wrinkles. And so yeah, that's the most important part of my van journey, is that kind of stuff. Now, sometimes that means dirt happens. It's okay. It's not the end of the world when it does. We just clean up a little bit, keep it moving. Don't let that become the most important thing in our day, because if you do that, you'll never get very far when it comes to the adventures, because sometimes, you know, life just kind of is what it is. It's not meant to be seen all the time. It's a van. It's going out to the middle of nowhere. It's going on dirty roads. Ooh, you have a butterfly. Look at that. Oh, butterflies mean peace. That was pretty neat. But yeah, it's about the experience. So while I do keep my van pretty tidy, it doesn't become everything, because if I did, I would never get anything accomplished. So instead, I choose to kind of divide my time up and kind of get things done a little bit differently. Okay, let's try this again. I choose to do the things that I do because whenever I first set out on my adventures, I knew that life was going to be something very different than what I was doing in my current life. I wanted my life to look different, and I wanted my life to be filled with adventures, every day to be not monotonous. I wanted things to be where I could learn and grow as a person, because I felt very stuck and stagnant. And now we're 8 years into doing just that. And several of you have come along. Some of you have been to the places that we've been to. Lots of you have suggested cool places. And as a result, we've had a lot of fun. But again, there's dirt sometimes. So it is what it is. I got my rug spread back out and everything's good here. So now I just need to go put the chair up. I need to grab my shower tent out of my storage. And then I'll start to address where all this stuff goes after I put my fridge back in. Okay, fridge is in, handles out, plug in toward the back. Display screen is easy to access, and this one has the side that I can open it up over there. So this insulates it a little bit more and keeps it good. Okay, again, I have a lot of stuff that I'm kind of working through back here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take in this power station so I can get it topped off, because it'll be going back in the van. But since I just used it for the test and some other tests, it's at about 85%, so I definitely need to top it off first. And then I'm gonna go through this and figure out what all is staying in the van. This is my dry goods. I keep a lot of different kinds of things, but because my diet is a little bit different now, I probably will keep some of the dry goods, but not all of them. These 3 things are about to go up on the roof. And other than that, I think in the back, I just need to take out my trash, put my groceries away, and then bring my clothes out. And then I'm pretty good back here. Okay, since I got all that put away, it's now time for me to get out my wool flies tent. I'm gonna pop it up inside, inspect it, make sure there's no holes, and then I'm gonna fold it back up and refresh my memory. So I'll do that, and then I think I can put everything on the roof after that. I'm trying to go through my brain and see if there's anything else, but I think that's it. Okay, we're putting everything away now. And roof box is set for the road. Solar panel's a little bit dirty. I'm gonna have to clean this, but I'm not doing that right now because it's probably gonna rain again. So I'm gonna leave it, and then I will clean it up right before I leave. Pretty wild, because we started off definitely going to get rain today, and now we might get rain. This is how it's been every single day. You never know what it's gonna end up with. So I'm gonna take down my ladder, and then I'm gonna get it into its spot and then start filling in some of the gaps. The ladder goes in up against the fridge with the feet side out so it can still vent. And this keeps it from also getting right up against this and not being able to vent. Both of the sides, I like to keep a little something in between them and the divider so it allows the fridge to breathe. So now it's time for me to put my lap desk on this side. So this little thing that goes on my steering wheel goes there, and it's removed back far enough from the vent. Now I get to start cleaning up all this stuff, and I need to make sure my toilet's stocked. This little pop down toilet has been awesome. I keep all my supplies in here. I do need to check to see how I'm doing with my poopery spray. Okay, this one feels good still, so I don't need to replace it. So everything else, I have my bags. I have my double bag, so I can double bag it. And then I have my toilet chemical stuff, which is just like my powder in the back. This will fit in this section in just a few minutes, but I want to go ahead and bring a couple more things to their place before I put it in there. And so that'll be in a moment. I have both the Road Pro and the Hot Logic, which will fit down here in a space. And then also my window things need to kind of go on that side. So I want to make sure that I have my water out here first though, and I'm just going to put it in here so everything kind of fits in its little hole. And that keeps everything from moving, so there's no rattling sounds. I hate rattling sounds because of the humidity and because of the rain. The flies are everywhere, so I'm gonna have so many flies in my van, but I'll have to worry about that later. Maybe I can open up a window and they'll fly on out. I don't know. Okay, while I'm inside, I'm gonna take a break real quick because it's warm, and I'm trying to just like figure out if there's anything else that I need to do other than just packing up these things. I came outside, now it's thundering. Awesome. Just awesome. I had two gray bins right here and they looked like this. I went ahead and used those because they fit perfectly under the corner of my bed, so I was able to store a lot of my canned goods there. And I have tons of extra soup and chickpeas and things like that. So now I have this gap though, so I'm gonna have to either see if I have a bin that already can work with this, or I'm gonna have to purchase 2 more of these bins, which I just got at Walmart. I do have my blankets all set now. This is kind of how they sit, so they're perfect. And then I have extra shoes kind of underneath that, and then my cooling blanket, and then this is my shower bag. So all of that sits perfectly so it doesn't move. I'm happy with this, but I gotta solve this issue. Again, I won't be completely finished until I put my clothes in because I use my extra pillows for clothes, but we're making a big dent. I also went through this bag and I have now determined that some of this will be going back in the van, some of this will be going into my tiny home. There's a lot of things that I have to figure out though with that bin situation. That's going to be the biggest part of figuring this out, so everything again does not move. If I put things on the shelf by themselves, things kind of get stuck, they move the wrong way. They fall out whenever I hit bumps, but when I keep them in this bin, it has a little bit more of a lip, and that's what keeps everything kind of together, so I can have a lot more dry food. I always like to keep dry food in the van no matter what. Even if I am currently eating more of a liquid diet, I can eat solids. I just have to concentrate on eating on this side. For those who have asked about my tooth, it is okay. I just am being very cautious, just in general, because that kind of threw me off really bad now at this point, and I'm trying to really be careful. But also, the liquid diet situation has helped so much with my sinuses. Sometimes just changing what you're doing helps a lot. So I'm doing okay. Don't worry about me, guys. Don't worry, I'm fine. With that said, I am going to have to fix this issue, preferably before it starts raining, and you could probably hear. The winds are kind of coming in these bursts, so it'll be like calm, and then it'll be all of a sudden just crazy, and then it'll be calm, and then it's crazy. That's what it did yesterday when the rain came in, so I'm just expecting at this point to see more rain. Okay, you guys know I keep everything that I pull in and out of my van so I can reuse it if I need to. So I had this from one of the iterations of my shelf. I don't know if this is gonna fit in the right spot. It's not gonna match, but that's okay. I would be okay with that for now. I can always replace this later on with more of the gray ones, but I'm just trying to save a little bit of money by using things I already have. And that's what I tell you guys to do all the time. You can buy things that are matchy-matchy, and that's great. I will eventually. However, for the time being, function outweighs blowing the budget, but only if this works. I don't know if it's gonna fit. We're gonna hope it does. Okay, so here we go. Is it going to fit? Ooh! Oh, it might. Something fell in here. Hang on. And then I'll go in with it. And that is actually quite perfect. Okay, everything's in there, and it's in there pretty tightly, so I don't think anything's gonna fall, but I will again test drive and everything. I have 3 Mountain Houses out just in case. I have a lot of foods that can be softer, like mashed potatoes. I do have some granola, but I like to use granola and cold soak it in, for example, almond milk, or I like to put it over yogurt, and I use very little when I do yogurt, but if I cold soak it, I can eat more of it easily. And then I have some other things in here like my digestive enzymes. So all of this is good to go. Okay, I was able to put my plates up here, which solves another issue that I had. And then inside here, I was able to put some of my little storage containers for my food. I still have room up here for a couple little power banks so I can power my lights. I think that we're in a good place now for sure. So I feel way better. That's for sure. I have gone through all of my clothing now. I pulled out the items in here to take inside. So now it's just time to pack up my pillows, put my last little finishing touches on the bed. I have a couple things I need to hang up here, and well, I think that's it. Okay, we're doing okay. Remember, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. I'm gonna take this in, I'm gonna move some stuff around, and well, I'll see what else pops up, because there's always something. I hope not though. I think we're good. Till next time, bye.